What's up, guys? Welcome back to Kind of Funny Screencast. As always, I'm Tim Geddes, joined by the big dog, Kevin Coelho.
Why is my camera doing this?
I don't know. Yeah, you're just like on a different level than us, Kev. You're just traveling through hyperspace right now. It's fantastic.
Whoa.
It's fantastic. We got the sad boy himself, sad boy Barrett Courtney.
Yo, what up?
Rocking a dope sweater. I'm loving it. Show the people.
Oh, yeah. You can't really see it in the front. But this is my Mirio Lemillion sweater that the Instagram algorithm got me again.
We were talking.
It usually does.
I was gonna say we were talking right before the show, like right before now, and I was like, why is everyone saying Mario so wrong?
Mirio.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not how you say it.
I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you.
He's great.
Because I didn't
Just
know.
trust us.
Yeah, he was saying Mario. I was like, is he talking about Mario? And then I looked at it. I'm like, that looks like a very, very artistic version of Mario. But whatever, man. We also have GameSpot's own Chastity Vicencio. How are you doing?
What's up? Good. Feeling good. Loving the Mandalorian. Loving being here and seeing y'all's beautiful faces on a Friday morning.
On a Friday morning. And all this Friday feels good. This Friday feels better than last Friday. I'm just going to put that out there. But
Hell
this
yeah,
is the Kinda Funny Screencast. And let me tell you, this show happens every week live right here on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. It happens later on youtube.com/kindafunny or roosterteeth.com. If you want to listen to it, search your favorite podcast service for Kinda Funny Screencast and we'll be right there for you. If you want to get the show ad-free, you can go to patreon.com/kindafunny, just like our Patreon producers did. And oh, baby, we got a new one. Even for November. Because, of course, we have James Davis at James Davis Makes. Of course, we have Andrew Feisner. But we recently added the Zook, Jeremy Zuccarello. But now, as of today, we are adding the Simply Sassy crew. You might know them. Great group of people out there that have been making super funny Photoshop, super funny videos.
Just won't stop. And some of them are so good.
Some of them
there's
are
a lot
disturbing.
of talent. There are a lot of disturbing ones.
But anyway, shout out to Simply Sassy. Thank you very much for all of your support over there. And speaking of support, you can support us by getting this super dope bomber jacket. It is the PS I Love You bomber jacket, kindafunny.com/store. Available now. We got all of the PS controllers up until the PS5 because that's how things work with us.
Why would you go there? Why would you go?
They need to know.
I know. Yeah, but
I don't even know what I'm saying
Think
anymore.
of it as like
it's really cool.
It's a legacy bomber jacket,
exactly.
Yeah, it's honestly one of my favorite things that we've ever made.
It's real comfortable. Yeah. It's warm. It has that nice cross stitch situation going on. Anyways, let's talk about some entertainment news, some good stuff to start off before we get into a lot of bad stuff. Just preparing you guys. Things aren't looking good for theaters. We've been talking about this for almost 9 months now, but like the news today, even more so. It's like, we'll see how this goes. Starting off with the good stuff though, Tenet finally coming to digital. This comes from The Verge. Christopher Nolan's Tenet, the big budget time-bending thriller that arrived during the pandemic to lackluster domestic box offices, is scheduled for home release on December 15th. The film arrived in theaters in August after multiple delays, after Warner Brothers decided not to push the release to next year, as many other studios have done. Tenet so far has grossed $350 million worldwide, but Warner Brothers was hoping for much, much better than that, with a budget exceeding $200 million. The film has grossed just $53.8 million in the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah. So both digital and physical versions can be pre-ordered starting November 10th, with the digital version costing $19.99. The 4K UHD combo pack, this one hurts, costing $45.
Bro, what?
God.
That is a lot.
Wait, I'm sorry. What's the combo?
Is it like a special edition or something?
No, I'm sure it's one of those dumbass things. It's like, you get the 4K and the Blu-ray and the DVD and the cassette. And it's like, we don't need that. I don't understand like why these combo packs exist. Like I got it back in the day when it was like DVD to Blu-ray, because it was like not everybody had a Blu-ray player yet.
I feel like for a while it was standard if when you got the Blu-ray, it came with the DVD. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But
that makes sense.
But like,
because that transition was harder.
Right, but what I'm saying is there wasn't like a premium cost associated with that.
Yeah, there was.
Really?
Yeah.
It was the combo pack always, yeah.
Huh.
And like they would like, but it wasn't this. It wasn't $45. Like
That's wild.
come on, man. Like I just don't understand. If you're buying the 4K UHD, you simply don't need the other stuff.
I can
digital
understand
is cool.
having like the Blu-ray disc. I can understand that because not everybody has a 4K Blu-ray player. But like, do
the
we
Blu-ray,
need
the Blu-ray disc? Holy shit! I didn't even look at this. The Blu-ray disc, $36.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, they're trying.
They're
their
just
hardest
they're trying to
recoup
make up
at
money,
this point,
man.
yeah.
They're trying to make up as
They
much
are
money as
trying
they
to
can.
make up money. That's definitely
Y'all.
what this is.
The DVD, the DVD is $29.
Yeah, they're
30
trying to make
bucks?
up money, man.
Listen,
30
I don't
bucks
even
for
know if I
a
like this
DVD.
movie yet. Like, I'm not gonna throw $45 at this thing. I don't
real.
even know if I'm gonna understand it. Like,
Oh,
This is like a
man.
digital, so it's available digitally as well, right?
For $20.
Yeah, so
Which,
that's,
I mean,
that's the
isn't
way
bad.
I'm
I
gonna
feel
go for
like-
now.
Weren't they doing?
That's more than fair.
Yeah, but weren't they doing like $24 for like the early screener stuff? It's weird that they're not going for that.
Yeah,
You know
the
what I
thing is, I
mean?
mean,
Like,
I
why?
feel like they couldn't have because of the deals with the theaters. Because the fact that they release it in theaters, there's the certain amount of months they have to wait for exclusivity before they can start putting it on digital.
But I feel like at this point, okay, delay the discs longer, call that early, you know what I mean? Put the discs out in January, be like, hey, the early thing is going to be 25, let's say $30, because, you know, it's a big name, big movie,
Yeah.
and recoup some money there, and then sell the discs for people that love it.
Yeah. Warner Brothers does happen to be owned by Warner Media, so that means we could see Tenet arrive on HBO Max at some point in the future, but AT&T is not disclosing when, and it's likely to try and recoup some costs by selling the physical and digital copies first. Warner Brothers declined to comment on the release window for Tenet coming to HBO Max. Not a surprise. I wouldn't expect
I'm
that.
going to say
Yeah.
that's like at least a year at this point.
it's gonna take a while for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I'm trying to understand this price, so I'm still wrapping my brain around $45. And like all I see is like it includes an hour-long featurette looking at the world in a new way, the making of Tenet. It's like, all right, what else though? Like, is that it?
I mean, here's the thing. They sold me. I'm buying the 4K disc. Like it's
of
going to
course
be the
you are.
only. It's going to be the only way to get the IMAX shots. It's going to be the only way to get the proper. Well, that and the Blu-ray to get the proper, surround sound
4K
experience.
and the full like 4K experience. Is going to be best on that 4K
And-
Blu-ray.
I do not want to watch Tenet any other way than the
Yeah.
right way. It's like
fair.
we're
I
already
agree.
being robbed of the proper theater experience. So it's like.
We might have the ability to turn up the center channel and for once have decent audio mixing.
Because we'll be able to ourselves mix Nolan.
tweak the,
Yeah, that is a good point.
Is
But
Nolan
anyways,
on social? Like, how many people are going to like take pictures of themselves watching it on their phone screen and be like adding it? It's like
hey,
the way you intended.
that sucks.
God,
That, like
that
that's just
sucks.
mean. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
like it's a sad thing where it's like that. I get it. He's all about the movie theaters, and I respect that because I love movie theaters. And God, I'm gonna miss them when they're gone someday, very soon.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like with all the news stories, like I feel like today there is such a trend of stories that lead into a dark place. And even with this, I earlier said it was good news. It's only good news because we get to watch a new Christopher Nolan movie.
Right.
It's
Yes.
horrible news for theaters and for the livelihood of Hollywood. But we'll see, man. We'll see. The next news story, moving on from that, Johnny Depp forced to exit Fantastic Beast franchise. This comes from Variety. And those are some key words there. Forced to exit. Johnny Depp will no longer portray the dark wizard, Jesus Christ, Gellert Grindelwald.
You nailed
got
it,
it.
Tim.
Nailed
You
it.
nailed
Got
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, buddy.
In the Fantastic Beasts film franchise, the actor announced Friday, he says, quote, "I wish to let you know that I have been asked to resign by Warner Brothers from my role as Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts, and I have respected and agreed to that request." Damn. Like that is some like straight up, here are the facts.
Yeah.
Depp's exit from the Harry Potter spin-off series comes days after he lost his libel case against the tabloid The Sun over a 2018 article alleging he was a wife beater. Depp confirmed that he plans to appeal the ruling. Quote, This is from Warner Brothers. Johnny Depp will depart the Fantastic Beasts franchise. We thank Johnny for his work on the films to date. Fantastic Beasts 3 is currently in production, and the role of Gellert Grindelwald will be recast. The film will no longer debut in theaters on November 21st, 2021, and will now debut worldwide in the summer of 2022.
I got some thoughts.
What are your thoughts, Barrett?
So this whole relationship between him and Amber Heard, obviously a complicated one from both sides. They're both shitty to each other. And I do find it interesting that they're specifically just having Johnny step down and not Amber, because there's also pretty like obvious evidence that she was also very abusive to him. It just didn't seem like a good relationship overall. So if they're forcing him out,
Wait, but where is she?
in it?
Like, where would she step down from?
Aquaman, and Aquaman is under WB as well.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
Good
that
But I mean, here's the
just, like,
thing. Here's the
something-
thing. Are we getting another Aquaman anytime soon? You know what I mean?
We're supposed to.
yeah,
I mean, but we're
When is
there's
supposed
plans
to
for a
win.
sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, are they shooting anything? You know? Is it ever?
You know
close
the
out?
worst thing about that?
Yeah.
The worst thing about all of the Aquaman stuff that I just found out yesterday when we were doing Conjuring and review is that James Wan is not directing Conjuring 3.
to do Aquaman 2,
Because
right?
he's doing Aquaman 2. And it's like, "Oh, man, come on. Come on.
And then also just like I don't know, my interest in this franchise as a whole is also dwindled. So it's just like whatever.
Here's my thing. My favorite thing about the first one was Colin Firth. You know what I mean? Oh,
Colin Farrell.
Farrell.
Nope.
yeah, Farrell.
Yeah.
My bad. They're all. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say that I really liked Colin Farrell, and I wish it was just him, like all the way through, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, going on this a little bit more, Depp's casting has been controversial from the start due to domestic violence allegations from his ex-wife Amber Heard that were leveled against the star. Despite public outcry from fans, the author J.K. Rowling and Warner Brothers vehemently defended the decision to stick with Depp at the time. In Thursday's statement, Depp also said, "I'd like to thank everybody who has gifted me with their support and loyalty. I've been humbled and moved by your many messages of love and concern, particularly over the last few days. Finally, I wish to say this. The surreal judgment of the court in the UK will not change my fight to tell the truth, and I can confirm that I plan to appeal. My resolve remains strong, and I intend to prove that the allegations against me are false. My life and career will not be defined by this moment in time." So, hey. I mean, he's at least sticking to that narrative. We'll see where that ends him up. But mainly, I wanted to put this news because Fantastic Beasts 3 getting delayed to 2022. I feel like it's already been delayed once because I thought it was supposed to be in 2020.
Yeah. I think that was the case too. And like I'm still convinced, and now with this whole thing, like I don't think this is a 5-movie series anymore.
No. Yeah,
Probably
that
not,
the
yeah.
rumors were that first delay is because they were trying to restructure it so they can make it a trilogy, and then do something else different with the last 2 movies.
Yeah, there's like 2 other movies
That was the
they're
rumor.
still in contract for. Yeah.
More delay stories. Disney removes Ryan Reynolds' Free Guy and Death on the Nile from release calendar. Disney announced another shakeup to the studio's release calendar, postponing Ryan Reynolds' action comedy Free Guy and Death on the Nile, the follow-up to Kenneth Branagh's hit The Murder on the Orient Express. I didn't realize that. Did you?
Yeah. It's what's the name of the author? The Agatha Christie? No. Famous author. Like
Yes.
it's a famous book series. Did anybody watch that one? Death on the Orient? I liked it. I thought
Was
it
it
was
good?
fun. Yeah, I thought it was. I mean,
Yeah,
I thought it
you're
was
right.
cool.
It is Agatha Christie.
Yeah, they've done those movies like a bunch, and I like the casting. Whoever played the main dude, which he has like a fancy name that I can't remember.
He has a fancy name.
Anyways, those movies are cool. Sucks that the sequel is getting delayed, but like this is the world. Anybody at all think that Free Guy or whatever the hell it's called is going to be good?
No.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That has
I
a
don't know.
very pixel
I
vibe.
think it'd be a decent streaming movie.
I think it'll be like a fun movie to watch more Ryan Reynolds. I think everything around him will be very generic and cringeworthy. Really quick, PW Unlimited put into the chat. The rumor is WB wants to move away from Fantastic Beasts and make the Cursed Child movie.
Yeah,
which is
that was the
which is
rumor,
what I
yeah.
remember. Yeah.
That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. But yeah, with Free Guy, I'm with you, Chastity. Like, I think it could be a fun, it's streaming movie that like doesn't have a chance of being good, but I feel like because of that, it might actually be good. Sonic the Hedgehog style. Like
Exactly.
that movie should have been absolute trash, and it was pretty
good. Yeah,
Oh, it's a great film, and it's going to get nominated for an
Guys.
Oscar because there's nothing to nominate this
it's
year.
one of
and
the
I
5
can't
movies
wait.
that's been out.
I love it.
There are
can't
better
wait.
options, guys.
Yeah. Hey, it's between that and Bad Boys for Life. And, you know, if that's the world that we live in, it's not the worst world, you know? Ride together, die together. Gotta go fast. That's what they say. So, okay. What was interesting about this news story is these movies are getting delayed out of this year, which leaves not many movies with release dates that we know of. But I have a list of all the upcoming movies that still have release dates that I wanted to run by you guys and talk about each one, see if you think they're going to stick, and see our interest levels or just any comments we have on the movies. November 13th, aka Friday the 13th. Freaky is coming out.
Oh, that looks fun.
Have you seen the trailers for this?
You don't think that looks fun?
No, it looks fun and
Oh,
it
is it
should
still-
be fun, but we reviewed it at GameSpot and apparently it's not as good as it should have been.
No. That's a real bummer.
Because like I really liked Happy Death Day.
so
Yeah.
good.
I had a lot of high hopes for this, but now I might watch it, but from what I've heard from my coworker that reviewed it, that it's just not great.
Damn, that's really upsetting because
Does your
the trailer.
coworker have good reviews? Like you follow?
I sometimes agree with them, I sometimes don't. So
Okay.
it
All right.
So
could
we'll
go
see.
either
Yeah,
way.
It's all subjective, Kevin. It's all subjective.
Chastity, have you seen Happy Death Day to You?
No, is that good? I only saw
Oh
the
my
first
God.
one.
Oh, you need to watch too.
It's so good.
They're just like,
I was
okay.
like, how are they gonna do this again? But
They nailed it.
Oh.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, they really understood what made the first one entertaining. And they're just like, let's just triple down on it. Like they skipped the doubling. They're just like, we're going all in on this.
I
And
love
Barrett,
that.
if you haven't
Embrace
seen
it.
them, you got to watch both. Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You.
I know they're not going to be for me.
No,
I
dude.
don't know, man. They're fantastic.
Barrett, they're really fun. Did you ever watch that other one, the Palm Desert or Palm Springs?
Palm Springs.
Palm Springs? Oh, yeah. Palm Springs fucking rad.
They're all
You're
in
gonna
that
love
vein.
Happy
They're
Death Day,
all
dude.
in that vein. And like
Well,
that's
it's-
what I felt like.
Just because it's Palm Springs, I think, has a fun, lighthearted, but also in the same, like, it's lighthearted, but it's also kind of dark. Of like what they do with the whole Groundhog Days thing. I just don't see me.
I'm saying
It's the same thing, man.
Yeah, it's
Same
literally
level of
the
quality,
same
I'm telling
vibe.
you. Moving on.
Same vibe.
Christmas Day. Wonder Woman 1984.
No
It's not
fucking
gonna
way,
happen.
right?
No way.
It's, not
It's
gonna
shocking that
happen.
they still haven't like just put it on like permanent hiatus until everything's all figured out.
I'm
They were
honestly
clinging
surprised
on to
they
October
didn't.
for dear life for so
Yeah.
long, and then they like, oh, December, and
Fuck,
it's
and
not
now we're in
happening.
November. You know what I mean?
Tenet was also under. Was that distributed by Warner Brothers? Or was that a
Yeah.
different company? Okay. I'm surprised they didn't just take it on the chin and just put it out in theaters already. Like, I know they like really wanted to make money off of this one, obviously, because it's a superhero movie. But like, if you're gonna take it on the chin for Tenet, like, I'm just surprised that they were just.
Well,
I don't know. It's just so weird to me.
I think that's why, though. I
Yeah.
think that Tenet was their like
because of that.
test, and they're like, "Oh shit, no, we need to back off. Like, we
Yeah.
can't do this." And like, Patty Jenkins is similar to Christopher Nolan in the sense that she's very much committed to the theater experience, which is good. Like, that needs to happen, but at some point, we're just in this weird like gray area of these movies. But like, I don't know, like, what's 2021 going to look like? At what point are we going to be able to actually watch movies? Because if it's like, let's say next June, does that mean next June to December is just going to be insanity of everyone racing to just make money back? Like, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it just has such a long-term effect because like there are sequels to things and like some franchises have people of a certain age and they're just going to be so much older by the time they get to do the sequel to their films, and then you have to make that believable somehow. But yeah, it definitely has a lasting effect. But imagine if just all of the movies came out in like Q4 of next year.
That
Yeah.
would be like every week is just like a big ass release. That'd
And
be
you know
wild.
what? And you know what? Who would do well? AMC. with their movie pass because people
Yeah.
would be wanting
Yeah.
if that's still around.
God,
We'll see.
That's
well, I
still
mean,
around.
Yeah.
like if any company's gonna last that long, it's AMC because they're the biggest one, right?
I mean, I don't know if it works that way. I think them being the biggest one is
Well, I mean,
potentially their downfall.
no, I think because like the second and third have like, well, no, Cinemark is still around, but Regal is Dunskies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Scary,
I mean,
man.
it was AMC just opened up in San Francisco
Yeah,
last week, and it's just
Really?
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's like, all right, guys,
Oof,
we'll
big oof.
see how this
They
goes.
sent around an email and they're like, yeah, here are all the openings in the Bay Area, and it was like all the way down to San Jose, and they were just reopening stuff.
Yeah,
I saw an article about that you could rent like an AMC theater for like a couple $100 and play whatever you wanted.
Yep.
That seems
that's
Private
cool.
screenings.
Yeah.
People were doing that.
Yeah, I mean, that
one
seems
of my friends
cool.
did that for Tenet.
That's been a dream,
Like 140.
Yeah.
That's been
I mean,
a
that's not that
dream of
bad.
my dad and I for years to rent out a theater and just watch all the Star Wars movies in like one sitting.
oh my god, it's a lot now.
That's a lot now. Yeah. God, that's a
No,
lot.
but it wouldn't be because
Yeah.
we still just watch the
The-
1 through 6. We wouldn't watch the new trilogy.
Why?
One
But why
through-
would you?
I
Why
hate
would
you,
you
Barrett.
include the prequels there? Why
Because,
not
you
just
know,
do 4, 5, 6 at that point?
Lore wise,
And Rogue
there's
One.
still some cool shit.
And Rogue
in,
One, you know what I
the prequels. you know. No,
Sure.
Definitely not Rogue One. Definitely not Rogue One.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't hurt me like this. Gary might be watching.
Yeah, he knows my stance. It's fine.
December 30th, Monster Hunter.
I could see this one still happening.
I can see it going on digital at the same time too.
I feel like we're gonna get this one going to theaters for like 3 weeks and then switching over.
But we can't do
This
that.
could be best case
What? No.
scenario for Monster Hunter. Like
Didn't-
if they just put it on digital and just have everyone watch it when there's nothing to watch.
Yeah,
I kind of feel
agree.
like it would do okay internationally too if it goes in theaters, because like, what, China still has theaters open, right?
yeah,
And they
we'll
got a lot
see.
of people there.
This is one of those movies that I have very little hope for doing well. Like it seems like it's one of those things that on paper should do very well in other countries, but I don't think it's going to come together that way. And I don't think that's just because of Corona. I think that's just because of what that movie is. January 8th, a movie called The Devil's Light from Lionsgate. I'm unfamiliar with that. January
Yeah, I've
15th, Cash Truck. Also unfamiliar. You guys know either of those?
No.
I think Cash Truck is one of those movies where they're like, it's like a heist movie, but I could be wrong.
February 12th, The Kingsman, the third Kingsman movie, which is, again, now the fourth delay of this movie.
Yeah,
So-
I want it so bad.
I know.
As you know,
Bad.
I don't think it's going to hit that.
Yeah.
I don't
And
either.
then March 12th, we have Raya and the Last Dragon from Disney,
Hell yeah.
which
Not,
That could still
it's-
happen.
That's
yeah,
a
could
I see
scary.
still
that still
happen.
happening.
Yeah, but like for me, that's a scary one where it's like if this doesn't do well, it's really bad for Disney. You know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
I think that it's kind of been implied that Disney Plus releases didn't work out the way they wanted to, but they
Soul is next, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Soul,
it's
Soul
Got
is
another
next.
test beforehand.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's interesting because like I think that the signs of it not doing well aren't really there because the real signs are the fact that they've shifted their entire strategy to be streaming and digital. So I think the
Yeah.
test worked.
I think that it might have just been
they just
with
haven't
that first
bragged about
initial what was it Mulan.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think that's because it was streaming. I think it's just because the interest and controversy around that movie was already like a huge struggle for that movie. So I think it was a weird movie to do a test run for all of the other movies it has on its slate right now.
And also,
I-
they shouldn't have showed their hand and said that it was going to be added to Disney Plus without the fee in December. Because
Exactly.
for me, like, I was like, yeah, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So moving on from that, there's another just interesting list that I found, and this is the most watched U.S. SVOD movies of 2020. And it's kind of surprising, but also not that much. Let's start at number 10. We have The Lovebirds on Netflix. Number 9, The Witches on HBO Max. Already.
terrible
Already?
movie.
Only been out 2 weeks,
Yeah,
and
but
it's already number 9.
But one of those weeks was like Halloween, so I feel like I get it. You know, it had an
Yeah.
extra push there. Smart
for them.
timing, yeah. Terrible movie. Truly,
That sucks to hear.
truly
I'll just
disappointing.
rewatch the original. It's
That's
fine.
fine. Yeah,
The
you might as
original,
well just watch the original.
terrifying.
We got the Trial of the Chicago 7 at number 8, which I know Barrett's been ranting and raving
Watch
about.
that fucking movie, please.
Give it the
good?
pitch on it.
It is kind of surrounding the trial after the Chicago riots. I believe this was 1970s. And it has a lot of commentary on what was going on at the time, which is sadly very relevant to people protesting and trying to do the right thing today. Sacha Baron Cohen is in it. It's one of my favorite performances from him. A bunch of people. You got the other dude from Fantastic Beasts, kind of handsome man, who's like the main kid in that.
Newt Scamander?
Yeah, the guy who plays Newt. He's in it. He's fucking great. Just general, like, overall, really great cast. It's the same director or showrunner from West Wing, right? And like, if you like his vibe and tone, like, it's a really good movie. I highly recommend it. I would say it's probably, of the movies I've been able to watch so far this year, it is by far the best one.
Moving up from that, we have The Old Guard at number 7, Mulan at number 6. And that's interesting because that's the extra premium paid one. So people paid $30 and that still hit that point that all these other ones are paid for the services, but it's a significantly cheaper price. Phineas and Ferb, the movie Candence Against the Universe at number 5.
Did
Hey,
not
you know what?
expect that.
Good for them.
On
Did
Disney
not
Plus.
It's
expect
104 days for summer vacation.
Extraction on Netflix, which was the Michael Bay one, right? I
With
still haven't
Hemsworth?
watched that. Yeah. Kevin was telling me that at least the beginning was really good.
Yeah, you should watch, especially with your setup now. You should really, really watch the first. I think it was like 15 or 20 minutes. It's just
So
a car
watch
chase.
the first 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, really. After that, it's just very much like it doesn't matter.
My Spy on Prime Video at number 3, was that the Batista movie?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason,
him.
I blanked out the fact
Yeah.
that was just released.
God, I remember watching the trailer so many fucking times in theaters.
Yeah.
They would play it before everything.
Everything. man.
And then they
Everything.
didn't
All right.
hit theaters. That's insane.
So then jumping up to the final 2 here, I'm going to go to number 1 first. Number 1 is Hamilton the movie, which is not a surprise,
Yeah.
right? That was a big event, free on Disney Plus. Unexpected, expected, to come next year in theaters. So to get it
Right.
streaming was a great time right before 4th of July.
That was a big moment for Disney Plus for sure.
But number 2, Borat 2, subsequent
That's what
movie
I thought.
film.
That's what I thought.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like with
Hell yeah.
the way that movie ends and how controversial that was, like that makes total sense,
It's so timely.
Especially,
It's
again, around with the
so
time.
Insanely
Yep.
timely.
Yeah.
I loved Borat 2. I
Yeah.
absolutely loved that movie. It was just like, how the hell was a Borat sequel good? Hard
Right.
stop.
Yeah.
Like,
This many years later, too.
oh,
And everyone already
Insane,
knows the
man.
bit.
yeah, shout out to the daughter. She owned that
she was
movie
great.
100%.
She was great.
so damn good. And then just really sad news to close all this stuff out. There's a lot of layoffs in Hollywood. Disney has enacted more layoffs, impacting more than 50 employees in the studio's marketing group, the New York-based theatrical division, and Searchlight Pictures. Several hundred open positions have been eliminated as well. 6 people at Searchlight Pictures, the independent label once owned by Fox, were laid off on Thursday. Earlier in the day, the Disney-owned ESPN announced that 500 positions will be eliminated, 300 employees, and 200 unfilled posts to free up resources for streaming, digital, and video departments. So a picture is being painted. And then similar news, Lionsgate is laying off 15% of its motion picture group, citing the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Joe Drake, chairman of the motion picture group, informed employees of the cuts on Thursday. A source said the layoffs will impact about 15% of the department. Lionsgate has about 450 employees. Obviously, this sucks.
That's
Layoffs are
insane.
never good,
Yeah.
never fun. And man, all of this just real bad for theaters, real bad for the future of movies, man.
Yeah. Also, really quick, Chad is shouting out because I don't think we talked about this last week. The passing of Sean Connery, obviously.
Oh yeah.
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 R.I.P. to the
It's a
legend,
bummer,
man.
Yep.
Now, that's the worst segue of all time into our sponsors. What's up, guys? This episode is brought to you by MeUndies. MeUndies believes that comfort is about more than what's touching your skin. It's about feeling comfortable in your skin. You're a total badass, and that's why you should only wear things that accentuate that fact. MeUndies truly believes in empowering self-expression. Their pledge for 2020 and beyond is called MeUndies Gives, an initiative that supports those who have systemic barriers to their self-expression. By shopping MeUndies, you support causes such as LGBTQ communities, mental health, and well-being, and women's rights, all things that we should all be all about. MeUndies offers classic colors to ridiculous prints. It's all so you can fully express yourself in your own unique way. Their new ones that they have are like koalas just kind of hanging out, and one of them looks like a little sexier than you'd expect a koala to look, which made me extremely happy. You know what I mean? Like, do you remember the story of the sexy koala, Barrett?
I don't think I want to remember the story of the sexy koala.
There's a picture of a koala that I found that it just looks like it I don't know. It looks different than other koalas. And I just decided to send it to Gia. And then I've just constantly for months been sending her pictures of just random koalas. And somehow that has paid off in now MeUndies understanding this and putting that damn koala on some undies all over print. And it's fantastic. Right now, I'm just wearing black ones because sometimes bold is beautiful. Right, Kev?
Absolutely, my dude.
There you go. You can get 50% off your first order and free shipping by going to MeUndies.com/morning. That's MeUndies.com/morning. Kev, can you Google the sexy koala to show people
I'll look
what I'm talking
into it.
about?
Yep.
Thank you. So I don't sound crazy. Okay, cool. Before we get to that, though, our last sponsor is Blue Chew. Let's talk about something we can all use more of right now: sex. Great sex. If you can increase your performance, get the extra confidence in bed, why wouldn't you? BlueChew.com. It's blue, like the color blue. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises. I really appreciate that copy right there. Arises. Blue Chew is made in the USA. It's prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor or wait in line. It's even cheaper than a pharmacy, and they prepare and ship it right to you in a discreet package. No awkwardness, and you don't need to leave the house. One of my really good friends has been having some of these issues the last couple of years, and he's been using Blue Chew for a while now, and it is helping him out immensely. Again, that's bluechew.com, promo code funny to try it for free. BLUECHEW.com, promo code funny to try it for free. Bluechew.com, promo code funny. All right, Kev. Are you ready? Have you found?
I haven't found it. I found the original picture because that's easy. You just write "sexy koala" and it comes in real.
That's all I want. That's all.
Oh, you don't want to find the one with Nick's face on it?
No, I just want to see the actual koala so people know.
Okay.
Why is there one with Nick's face on it?
Yeah.
Because I mean, doesn't that like you look at that and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I've seen Nick. That's how Nick.
I wouldn't call it a sexy koala.
You wouldn't call this a sexy koala.
Look, it's just trying to be sexual. It's just in a sexual position, man.
Barrett, your standards for koalas is too high. It's not okay.
Oh God.
Oh
the
man.
Jeff Goldblum of koalas.
Exactly. It's a beautiful thing. All right, let's get into it right now. The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2, which is Chapter 10, called The Passenger, directed by Peyton Reed. Kevin, who is Peyton Reed? The director of Ant-Man 1, Ant-Man 2, and most importantly,
Bring
Chastity.
Bring it on.
Thank you. I knew you'd be right there for me.
Did he do Bring It On 3? The Revenge?
No.
That was nope. It was not called The Revenge.
The Revenge.
I didn't know that he was on booked to be part of the show. So that's kind of a fun.
Yeah, we were saying this right before we started the show. Is I was very surprised to see his name at the credits here. Just because I like Peyton Reed, I like Ant-Man 1 and 2. Neither of them like really stood out to me, but like this felt very different from those, and not just because it's Star Wars versus Marvel, but just like there's something tonally that I did not expect from Peyton Reed, and I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah,
Sure
so
loves bugs though.
he does love them bugs, man.
Fucking damn
Loves
it,
them
man.
bugs.
Full spoilers, by the way, for this, and that will be the case going forward for all of these Mandalorian things once we get to this point in the show. But yeah, let's start with you, Chastity. What did you think of episode 2?
So obviously a lot of side quests here, but I enjoy it. I don't mind it terribly because I just love being immersed in this universe. But we still haven't found any Mandalorians, but we were taken on a ride and I really, it was scary. It was fun. A lot of dad vibes from Mando, which I was really enjoying. And I do like the Frog Lady a lot. I think that it was an adorable character.
Named Frog Lady.
I got a kick out of it.
I just love it. Kev, where you at?
I really like this one. I feel like I really hope it continues down this vibe where there was so many little throwbacks that made it feel like it was more of like a cohesive story overall. Where it's like, they had the alien from the beginning of what was it, last season?
Dr. Mandible?
Yeah, Dr. Mandible.
The ant-looking guy?
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking about
you're talking about Zero.
The droid. The droid in the ship,
gotcha.
and he was using him, and it was still the voice from what was that one show?
Richard Iowati from IT Crowd.
Yeah, that's it. And it was like, oh, cool. He got a couple lines in this, and I don't know. I felt like the overall story was cool, and like how it concludes with like, man, you get the pass because we saw that footage, and you're a good guy. It turns out. I was like, all right, cool. There were still some things where it's like the scene where the little Ewok no not Ewok the little guy was like holding the Yoda.
When he was holding Baby Yoda hostage.
Yeah, where it's like I feel like they could have done a better job with the puppets, like to make it look. It very much looked like if we were trying to make it look like that scene, where it's like, no, hold the knife a little closer, hold him up closer to you, but like. A lot of fun stuff too, like the jetpack, the use of the jetpack overall. Not only like with him shooting him up and like dude falling into his death, but like the way he like lands a couple times with the jetpack. It's like, damn.
And even like after he dropped the one dude, the way he was able to land the jetpack itself, like on the floor, like this little shit. Like that
looked
was
cool,
really cool,
and it made me feel like, oh, Mando's so cool,
Yeah, Barrett, what about you?
I really liked this episode. And yes, this is more side questy stuff. And like, I don't mind the side questy stuff. It's just like the last episode, I thought there was just things that were stretched out, but this one I felt like we were constantly on the move. We were constantly in action or interesting conversations, fun moments with Baby Yoda. This had me immersed the entire time. Like I was on the edge of my seat. I know there's 6 more episodes after this, but like for the second half of that episode, I was like actually like they're not getting off this planet. I am fearful for these characters, and it's the most I have felt like actual fear for the safety of these characters at all in the entire series. And so yeah, I think this is probably my favorite episode so far of the series overall, just because I was in it the entire time. Absolutely.
Honestly, for me, it's really high up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like really high. There are a couple things where it's like, why is Mando like going back to bed? Like I understand he was sleeping and maybe he'd only been sleeping for like 2 hours, but there's a giant hole and it's really cold. Does the suit have AC? Like, is it moderating temperature and humidity? I hope it is.
Yeah, it's interesting I'm happy you guys are so positive on it because I am as well. But I would say that this is my
Tim,
favorite.
Real quick, just before, like, I know that like what you're about to say is important, but so is this.
Thank you very much for this. Oh man. Anyways, what I was going to say is I feel like I still obviously prefer the like main plot episodes of this show, which we kind of saw in the beginning and end of last season. And I'd say last week's episode, it was a new plot with the Boba storyline stuff, but I enjoyed that a lot. But we know what this show is, and it is, Barrett, you brought up the word immersive. Like, I think it is about just being immersed in Star Wars. This is being made by people that so clearly absolutely care about every single detail. And at some point, I think it does. On the surface level, it just looks like a bunch of Easter eggs. But I think it's deeper than that. Like, I think that there was a real care, and it's starting to really come to fruition in season 2 for me, where we got taught the language last season of what to expect from this show. So now they can kind of deliver on some things. So us getting our first side quest episode of this season, it felt a little bit more meaningful. Like like Kevin was saying, it included characters we've seen before. So more things are familiar, and it's not just nostalgia from the original trilogy, but it's nostalgia from last season. And when you start building on that, that's a show. right? Like we already care about Mando, we already care about Baby Yoda, but the more situations we see them in together, it starts feeling like there's consequences. And I liked that this one kind of built that it kind of looks like Baby Yoda might be like getting out of control of Mando, and he needs to focus more on like making sure that the Baby Yoda's not murdering someone else's kids.
Every time he ate an egg, I was like,
fertilized,
oh my God.
man. They weren't fertilized.
I was so stressed out.
yeah, but like those are all the eggs she has left to
I was
fertilize.
scared it was
The
going to turn
last
into like
of
a
her-
fight, and I'm surprised it didn't. Like, how does she
Yeah.
not pay attention to how
Honestly,
many fucking eggs she has?
she's not a great mom. I know that's mean to say, but here she is being like, it's cool. I guess there's 4 or 5 less.
She
I'm
was
not
like, there's
keeping
the
track.
last of the brood of her life cycle. Like, she should be keeping count of it, and that just like hit me on a personal level. I was like, this is the last of your eggs.
Yeah, but I enjoyed this episode a lot because I think that they clearly learned from last season's side questy episodes, where I like that this one didn't have a nice clean ending. Like, we're clear there is a plot that they started a plot here that we're going to clearly continue, which I enjoy, because like it doesn't just feel like a one and done. Okay, these things happen, we can move on. And on top of that, all the things that they added, I feel like the stuff with the X-wings for the first time didn't just feel like, oh cool, there's X-wings. It's like this is the first that we're really seeing of the New Republic. The sequel trilogy didn't do a good job like setting all that stuff up. So I like that there's this idea of, okay, there's the Empire, there's the rebellion, seeing the different side of rebellion, so it's like they're not always good guys. But I like seeing this where it's like the new status quo, where they're kind of just space cops,
and they're also like they're in the middle of like figuring things out. They're still in the early years of post Empire, and like even at the ending,
Jedi.
Jedi. Sorry, you know. Well, I meant post Empire, as in like post like the Empire is no longer here.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
That strikes me.
And the where they were talking about like, hey, these are like desperate times or whatever they said, of like not wanting to take him in because he's done more good than bad overall. You get like a subtle hint of like where the galaxy is kind of at, which there have been other hints throughout the series, but yeah, I really like that. And just shout out to like the way they are able to use the X-wings, and like when they first pop in, like that entire scene is just so tense,
Dude, when they pop open. And you're just
I know. Well, first one it was like,
down.
hey, can you change to channel 2? And you're like, oh fuck. And then like
he's
10
screwed.
seconds later, they just slowly open. You're like, oh no. Like I was on the edge of my seat, which I can't say for most of the other episodes. So I was just really impressed with like what they were able to use to really make me care about the episode.
I think the
Yeah, and
writing
going back
in
to-
this one.
sorry.
Go for it, Chastity.
And going back to what you were saying, Tim, like this does like continue the story of episode 6 from the first season, which I enjoyed. That, you know, that wasn't just a one and done story, like you were saying. Like this is like a direct sequel to that. There were so many references in this episode to episode 6, and they even showed Filoni again as one of the X-wing pilots.
Yeah, which is awesome, and I like seeing that we're getting this universe being made within the Star Wars universe. But I thought that the writing of this episode was some of the stronger we've seen in the show so far, because it felt like everything kind of had a bit like it's not a coincidence that there was 3 simultaneous like character storylines about protecting children, whether it was the spiders with their kids or the frog lady with her things, or obviously Mando with Baby Yoda. And I feel like all of that had the perfect level, like what Barrett's saying, of like tenseness, of like you actually kind of fearing for different things, because they set it up. I loved the whole idea of you can't go into hyperspace. You need to stay out of it. I forgot what they called it, but Sublight.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what a cool way to like show that they need to go slower. They need to, you know, stay within these rules that automatically feel scarier. So when these X-wings pull up, every word matters, because you're like, what's going to happen? How's he going to get out of this? He can't go too fast. You know, like if a chase happens, he has to be in the chase. And I love the dialogue where may the force be with you. It's just like, so just like,
yeah, but also, the delivery of it was just like,
Also with
he's
you.
just, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's just like I love it because it's the status quo of where the galaxy is, and they kind of like do a good job for me of building all that up. And a subtle thing, the music in this episode, as always, was fantastic. I can't believe how good the score of the show is. Both the theme being so badass. Baby Yoda seems to have like a new theme song going on, like a little cutesy fun thing.
Yeah, it was so good. And yeah, shout out, like, we haven't like gotten really into this, but that opening, with that whole fight with the other bounty hunters or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just so fucking cool. And again, that was like immediately, like, I was scared seeing Baby Yoda be flung from that speeder and like rolling over and shit. And just like the fight choreography, like, well, not like top tier by any stretch of the imagination. It was still like fun to watch, and I was still like, it was just it was real good.
The last thing, real quick, the last thing I want to say about the music is they did such a good job of having their own scores. This is the first time that I can think of in Mandalorian that they actually incorporated Star Wars previous music into it. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah, you can hear some of it, but yeah, I just love all the music in this.
The part where where Dave Filoni and the other guy who is Paul Sun-Hyung Lee from Kim's Convenience, and more importantly, Harriet the Spy. But when they are leaving at the very end, it's the Rise of the Resistance theme from like the sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
and it's just like, it's just hints of it, and I really enjoy that because it's like they're trying to tie it. Like, this is such an interesting part of Star Wars timeline that we've just really never gotten anything officially, right, or the new official of the post Return of the Jedi before Force Awakens. It's like there's a 30-year period that's so interesting, and I love where Mandalorian's taking place because there's so much they can do with where they're at.
I was gonna say to what Barrett was just talking about, that one scene where they crash and he's fighting all the other bounty hunters. There is one moment where I'm like, this seems like a dumb character choice that they made just to make it look more dramatic. When he's walking away with all his gear on the stick, and it's like, why not just use your jetpack? The city's right there, You could fly.
It's too much weight. Too much weight, dude.
Wait, you making that up? There's no rules that say that, right?
I don't know. That's the assumption that they build.
I guess. I'm just saying, like, it's one of those things where, like, as he's approaching the city, I'm like, it's right there. You can just fly. So you're saying a jetpack can't carry another person with a jetpack? So if, like, Boba Fett was in his, like, full suit.
Yeah, I guess.
Because you have to imagine
like carrying someone.
Yeah. I feel like he
know.
could. I feel like he could, yeah.
I don't know, man. Baby Yoda's pretty dense, Like, we don't know how much.
Also, like, it makes sense, and like because I complain about her anytime she's on the show. But it makes sense for Sedaris to be on, yeah, just I'm glad that we were able to bring her character in to like move the plot forward and like have it make sense and tie it together. And I also appreciate that she likes her steak medium rare. I respect it.
No,
also, I loved Yodelini just being super stoked about that meat. He was I'm so ready. I'm so ready to eat this motherfucking steak right now. It was great.
When it was being cooked,
I forgot about that.
When it was being cooked, I was like, that's a good looking steak. I'd definitely eat some dragon's meat right now if I had the option. I do want to say, while I feel like her casting was a poor choice, there was definitely a moment that, like, where she's explaining, like, she's like, oh man, I'd put my life on this, or whatever she said. And then later he's like, so what's the deal with the husband? She's like, I have no idea. I just met her. And like that little joke, I was just like, all right, cool. That fits your character, and that's the kind of joke that person would make. And again,
it's a Disney ride acting level that we're getting from her, and it's just like, you can take it or leave it.
It's weird with the budget.
I'd rather leave it.
Yeah, it's weird with the budget.
We're good.
These shows have, like, why are they making these choices for the actors? Like, there's been a lot of decisions where it's like, I feel like the actor, either they're just not great because they're not actors, you know what I mean? Where they're like MMA fighters or whatever. Or it just doesn't seem like the director's doing a good job directing. Where, like, Bill Burr in the last season had moments where I was like, you're better than this. You're better than this.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a lot of people getting their friends on the show, and that's just another thing of it is what the show is, and I just Amy's character is by far my least favorite thing about this show. But if we're gonna get this much of her, it's like it's not gonna like ruin it for me.
And
all
like
right.
the feeling that I get from the ending of this episode, like I'd be very surprised if we return to Tatooine anytime soon.
I don't know.
Well, I
because
mean,
Boba Fett's there.
yeah,
But
I don't know
anytime
how
soon.
much we're gonna. I don't know how much we're gonna get of
Yeah.
Boba this season. We'll see.
I
and
really
like Boba
hope-
has the. I imagine Boba's gonna be able to find the ability to leave Tatooine. You know, I don't know though. I don't know if he wants to. Again, so
Well,
much.
I mean-
so much to learn.
now Mando has his suit, so there is some possibility that for whatever reason he
wants it
like
back.
he wants it back
Yeah,
and he's
he
going to go after
possibly
it.
Wants it back.
I
That would be
really-
the only motivation.
I really hope the next week's episode starts them arriving to that planet.
Trask.
Yeah.
My theory is it's the planet from the trailer where we see Sasha Banks. My guess is that we see Sasha Banks next episode.
I
So
hope
stoked about.
I hope we
so.
get a little bit more Mando. I just hope that they start tying these things just a little bit more. I'm not saying like I want like him in the episode, but another teaser would be cool. Like if they at the end of the episode it's revealed, oh, somebody's watching you from this mountain, and it's Mando. No,
And it's
not Mando.
Mando.
Boba. That's it.
Yeah.
Boba Fett.
Do we want to talk about the spiders?
Yeah, I was gonna
That whole
say, what do you
sequence?
guys think of that? Those spiders. It was terrifying. It was disgusting.
They look like they tasted delicious when
Shout
the
out
lady had
really
it,
quick
You know what I mean?
to two things. They are specifically, I forget how to say it, Krykna? Yeah, they're seen before in Star Wars Rebels, and I knew it took me a minute or two to like be like, I know these from somewhere. We've seen these before. But yeah, that's
God.
we've seen them in Star Wars Rebels, and like I was never terrified of them in Rebels, but holy fucking Christ, I am terrified of them in like live action CG shit. Because Jesus, I was freaking out. I already have like a spider thing. I'm not a fan of spiders, but just oh god,
when they get into the ship, that's when it got me the worst.
and they're like they're piling up when the door is trying to close. We lost him.
He'll pop back.
He's him.
But yeah, when the door is trying to close and you see them on the other side like piling up over each other, it was like that
Hate
World
it.
War Z kind of shit, but with
Dude,
spiders.
that moment
I hated it.
where he starts heating up his little arm blaster, and then it cuts to the outside, and you just see fire coming out, and it's just like, I was waiting because it's one of those things like we know he has got a flamethrower. Where is
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Just
I'm
that
scared.
moment
I'm
where
scared.
where Baby Yoda like just eats one, and then you see all of the other eggs as it zooms out. I was like, oh no!
Shout out! I think this is the first time. And chat, you can correct me if I'm
Ew,
wrong.
it's putting an egg down in this picture.
Yeah. I think this is the first time we've ever seen a CG Baby Yoda, because that whole shot of him like eating that spider at the
That was
very
weird.
beginning, like none of
it was
that.
so weird when it went to its mouth. Oh, Tim's calling
Yeah.
me. Give me 1 second.
Also, like his eyes were like almost like more anime and stuff like that. It was interesting, and I will say I think Baby Yoda, CG Baby Yoda, even cuter somehow. Didn't think it'd be
Really?
possible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cute regardless, for sure. But he will eat anything. He will just eat anything. He just loves eggs.
Shout out to some other small moments. I love it when they're running away. Like the entire chase is just fucking. It's terrifying. But I love there's a little moment where the frog lady's running away, and eventually she just starts doing like hopping away.
Yeah.
Because she's like, yo, like run using my two legs ain't cutting it. So I like that they were able to like use
Use
like
the
a different
power of frog.
yeah, like use it, like actually utilize these different species and sew them off in ways that aren't just, humanoid versions of them. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And the last thing that I really want to shout out is the whole fake out. When he's starting up the ship, and the one question I had was like, you were working on the ship like before this, like, are you really sure you're gonna really be able to start this thing up? And like, they're lifting off, and just the smash down of the huge spider. I think I yelped a little bit, and I was scared because I knew Alyssa was sleeping, and just like they got me, man. They again,
Well,
like
when-
I've been saying for this entire episode, like they really got me, and I was like, man, how are they really going to explain like the ship being able to work, whatever? And then immediately, and I was not expecting that spider to come back at all. It was so fucking terrifying.
Well, when it pierced down through into the cockpit, I was like, well, I mean, it seems like he's screwed with this situation, but it also seems like can fix it, like his ship, like no matter what state it's in. Because like, right, in the last season, we had the episode where it like totally got robbed, then he gets everything back, and then he rebuilds it basically. With him and
I liked the explanation afterwards, where like the ship was completely fucked after all of like, oh, and really quick when he's like leaving to see like who was shooting at the big spider, and the amount of webs throughout the rest of the ship was just so.
Thank you.
The webs are
God.
so gross.
I do-
That last shot where you see all the webbing.
I love how
Not a
like
fan.
liberally he like will like just blast fire and blasters in his ship, where he's like, it's fine, I got it down, I gotta kill these
whatever.
awful things.
Yeah.
The ship's been through it. The Razor Crest has seen all sorts of damage.
Yeah, and I really like that he kind of explained afterwards of like the rest of the ship's fucked. We would have to we need to kind of like, I forget what they like, pressure lock or whatever into the cockpit, but and then like seeing them fly away at the end where the ship is just like, it's like limping to their destination. I like that, and even though this was like a side story kind of episode, side mission kind of thing, it did still feel like, all right, like we know where we're going to next, like we know like what our destination was. Whereas like the last episode, like the Boba Fett reveal was cool, but it was like, all right, where are we going from here though? And I just felt like the ending of this episode, I feel like overall, I think we'll set up the next episode.
I feel like
a little better.
So much of the last season was they had a goal, but it was one of those things that like literally every episode he's trying to figure out a place to leave this kid, you know? And like this one now it's like
Adventures in Babysitting with Mando.
Yeah, but I feel like right now it's a little bit different where the story's now, okay, he's going to take it back to, you know, all the Yoda people, which like, cool, that's a solution, but we know that's far away, and that like he has a bunch of steps that he has to figure out beforehand, and like I don't know, I feel like the journey feels a little bit more cohesive, and I'm all about that, and I hope that it continues that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're even gonna find Baby Yoda's species.
Yeah, I mean at this point he's still he's still trying to find the other Mandalorians, and it's like, all right,
we're gonna find maybe a Jedi or two in this
season 5 though for sure. We're gonna have a bunch of little Yoda species. They might even get a name. You know
do we know really quick? This is just a question I was thinking about. While rewatching, I'd rewatched season 1 right before 2 had started. Do we know what the Empire really wanted with Yodelini?
I assumed that they were. I mean, no, we have no idea, right? But I assumed.
The assumption is like it's the project to bring back the Emperor, right?
Well, no, my assumption was like cloning and maybe manufacturing.
Because like his whole power that's revealed at the end of that first season, where he can heal people and stuff like that. I was made me wonder if like,
but like that's the thing, like the. And we now know that
it wasn't clear. It wasn't really defined. Like they were just doing tests on him.
The Emperor.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say like the Emperor. Like I guess he's that weird zombie thing, right? Like.
Yeah, and Snoke is like a weird clone or whatever you want to call it.
Puppet that maybe he's inside through his mind.
I don't know.
Yeah,
fucking episode 9's a trash.
Because that just seems like that. Like that's fine. All right, cool. Like why would you not be happy with that?
And so that was like the question of like, is Baby Yoda connected to that in some way, shape, or form? I'm interested to see what we get from the Empire side this season, because like it's all built up of like, all right, we got Boba Fett, we're looking for Mandalorians, we're pretty sure Ahsoka Tano, and I forget the other Mandalorian from Rebels. We maybe Bo-Katan, all this stuff. We know we're getting them, but like we haven't. I don't know like what we know from the Empire's perspective, because Giancarlo Esposito's character is still out and about.
I forgot about him completely.
Yeah, and like
Saber.
Yeah, he's got the Darksaber, which the last time we saw the Darksaber, it was in Sabine's possession. So like, how is this all going to connect? I'm really interested to see if that all comes to a head, at least for this season.
I really hope we get, and like, I don't think this is going to happen, but like, it would be really cool to get one episode from the perspective of Carlos Esposito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right? Was that his name?
For sure.
Giancarlo.
There you go. All right, I was close. I said it. I was like, I just think that like, and maybe get a little bit more backstory, get an idea of why the new empire wants him.
I think we'll get it. I imagine it'll be in crumbs though, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like one episode dedicated to that, with even little throwbacks to, or not throwbacks, but like maybe like showing some connection of how like the new order works and how all those things are related would be cool. Do I think we're actually gonna get it? No, but here's
all right. Really quick, you two. Because I feel like we're probably wrapping up. Tim doesn't seem to be coming back.
He's supposed to be coming back. His internet cut out, and he just needs to restart everything. But
all right, well, you know what? Fuck Tim. We're gonna do the segment without him because I wanted to do the segment last week and I totally forgot about it. We got to do a best Baby Yoda moment every week. I'm just gonna say, and I forgot about episode 1. I just want to throw it out there for the first episode was Baby Yoda on the speeder bike.
Yes.
When he's the hair's blowing in the ears, he's just having a great time. He's vibing.
So
I love it. For this episode, I think it's got to be him eating the fucking eggs just throughout the entire episode.
Look, I like that a lot, but I really like the spider because like, how good did that look? You know what I mean? When he's eating the spider.
Really?
It looked like a deep fried squid.
No, that's true.
You can't get behind deep fried squids, guys?
No, not really.
I was thinking about Alien
Not my
when
thing.
I saw all those eggs. Just
I know. And then when he like breaks it open, it kind of looks like the xenomorphs egg opening up, and it's just one of those things where it's like, no, not like this.
That is not my favorite.
Yeah.
Also,
I like
just
where,
sorry, throw that up.
I like where Baby Yoda was running back to Mando after he was held at knife point, and I was like, oh my god. Then he holds
like
him. Yeah.
Oh, it was so cute. And then like him cuddling up to Mando when they were like he was trying to like sleep for the night after the ship had crashed. That's a good one. And then the last one I'll throw out here is him just staring at that fucking meat at the beginning of the episode. Yeah. Just ready for that steak. But yeah, for me it's got to be him eating the fucking egg just because it's the most hijinks we've gotten out of Yodelini. It was so good.
It was very cute and definitely made me think, what do those eggs taste like, you know?
Oh no.
Maybe I like the way they looked. It just looks like a wetter version of like the yolk, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to imagine it's basically an egg, right? But instead of the hard shell, you've got some sort of thick, skin-like, transparent.
Is it like
membrane of sort?
Is it like a gusher?
It's like when you're eating sushi. But like
sure.
Rate.
Gotcha.
I feel like mochi. Like I imagine it's like that kind of texture for the skin, you know, of it. Again, how the mom didn't notice that like 4 or 5 of those guys got eaten. Also, why leave it? Why leave it?
One at the end too.
Yep.
He's in the ship. No.
What I don't understand is, so at the end, she's like, they're all in the like cockpit, right? And she's like holding it. I feel like that's how she should have been the entire time with it. Why did she leave it in the cargo bay? You know?
Right.
So an interesting.
I do hope for next week we get like some sort of like we don't need a whole scene of it, but just like maybe in the background when Mando's like trying to find. I imagine on this next planet he's gonna obviously try to look for other Mandalorians, but also try to fix his ship as well. I hope we just get like a little thing in the background of like her finding her husband. It's like, all right, let's go fertilize these eggs.
Ew.
But they could also just quickly glaze over that storyline and just have them on a new planet.
Yeah,
Well, so
because of the way that they're setting up this next planet, and like this is the next step he needs to take. Like and this is why like I was excited at the end of this episode, is just because I don't feel like this is going to be another weird jump where like a lot of the episodes from season 1 felt very like, even though they were connected in ways, it felt like there was always a slight jump in between time in each episode, and I like that we're getting what seems to be. We'll have to wait until next week to
More
see
cohesive.
of like. Yeah, a more cohesive, connecting story there. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I hope they don't jump over it, because I kind of like, I want him to land on this planet with the ship falling apart and meet with the frog husband and discuss it. And that's one of those things where it's like, is he getting played again? Because I feel like the way she was like being like,
she doesn't
hey,
have information.
well, I mean, what she said to him was that her husband was meeting with the Mandalorians to make some sort of deal, right? And that's why he's out there.
Well, they had only said he had seen Mandalorians or something like that. I don't know if they
I could have thought
really...
she said they had met. He was meeting with them.
It seemed like a real loose connection there.
Yeah.
With the Mandalorians.
Also, really quick, Koyo's Rook in the chat says, "I hope when they arrive to their destination, there's only one egg left, and we get fat baby Yoda."
No, every time he eats, when it freaks me out, because it's like she's gonna get mad when she figures out. Yeah,
I know. I thought it was gonna. I honestly thought like. I didn't expect the spider stuff at all. Like, I thought the second half of the episode was going to be Mando and the frog lady fighting because she finds out that he's been eating her eggs. It's just the way he just pops them in. It's just so fucking funny.
Also, quick question, guys. You think if we crash land on some exotic planet that seems to have an atmosphere that is hospitable to us, would you guys go wander outside and get in the hot tub? Or the hot spring, jump in the hot spring.
I gotta see what's in that water.
I mean, it seemed pretty like it
seemed nice.
It seemed like it was it looked like a crater with hot water in there. And like at first I was like, why would she be doing this? Doesn't she know? And then I was just like, you know what? That looks really comfortable.
Cold.
That looks really comfortable.
She's cold. She said it was warm.
Yeah. I also wouldn't have taken them out of the case. Like she had all the eggs out. That seems dangerous.
Yeah.
Just put the case in there and wait till the water heats up. You know. There's just better ways to do stuff.
That's true.
So I don't know if Tim's coming back.
Where's Tim?
I guess we should probably just wrap up.
Yeah, we've said all we've needed to say. It seemed like Tim was also really enjoying this episode.
Yeah.
He was definitely surprised that I really loved this episode, and I was honestly really surprised that I loved this episode.
I'm in the exact same boat where this is just something about the way this episode flowed to me felt really well structured and gives me
it felt
hope for the
smoother than
future.
the first episode. Like I didn't dislike the first episode. There were just like points where I was like, all right, we could tighten this moment up here. We don't need to stretch this out for 50 minutes.
Right.
And this was, I want to say even before credits, I want to say it was like 36 minutes, maybe 35, somewhere around there. And yeah, I thought it was the right amount of length. I thought we were moving on with every scene. Like even when I was like, even just with like the 1 or 2 minutes of Amy Sedaris, I was like, all right, like this isn't terrible because now we're on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I liked it.
I just hold this show at such a high bar now that I can't pinpoint what the expectation is, but I always have an expectation, and I always enjoy it more the second time I watch it. But I also, that's probably because I'm making content around it, but I always like just enjoy it way more the second time I watch it, after like those expectations just are not in my mind.
I will say, like I said earlier, I rewatched season 1, and I feel like overall I like season 1 more, being able to watch everything back to back, feeling like there is a constant momentum instead of having to wait like week to week, and that's just like kind of like my preferred way to watch streaming shows. And I did like it overall. So I'm interested, like when this season is all said and done, like. And going back to watch it, like if that'll be like the same story where like I'll like this season, but I won't be like super high on it. But then if I go back to it in like a year for season 3 or whatever, before season 3 comes out, like if I'll look back at it and like it more. But who knows? Because we're only 2 episodes in, Kev.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm feeling better about it. I'm pretty stoked. I'm actually like legitimately, this episode made me more excited for the rest of the season. I hope that trend stays moving forward. Do you want to Tune in.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There it
thank you
is.
so
There it
much
is.
for joining us for this week's Screencast. Of course, Screencast is live for now every Friday over on twitch.tv/kindoffunny games around 11:30 a.m. We were reviewing every episode of season 2 of The Mandalorian and talking about news and all of that good stuff. Later over on youtube.com/kindoffunny and podcast services around the globe. We will see you all next week for The Mandalorian season 2, episode 3. But until then, Chastity, where can the people find you?
YouTube.com/GameSpotUniverse is where I'll have my Easter eggs videos for The Mandalorian. So the first one's up from last week, and the second one will be up later today. So please
Sweet.
check it out.
I still need to watch that first one, and I'm excited to check out the second one. Kev, where can people find you?
At youtube.com/kindoffunny. You know?
And at Kind of Funny Kevin on
yeah,
Twitter
yeah, there
and
you go.
Instagram, right?
yeah, everything's the same.
Okay. You can find me at Sadboy Barrett, tweeting about Star Wars, tweeting about whatever nerdy shit, My Hero Academia, all that good stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, until next week's episode of Screencast, may the Force be with you.
And with you.